Good to see you.
Tom, what's going on? You good, sir?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold the mic.
You said you need to for the video tube, so just put it on.
You want me to hold this microphone? Testing 1, 2. No. All right, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good. Thank you guys for coming in today. We're excited to tell you about our new lead generation program that we're launching, so I appreciate you guys coming in. Also, Chad and Catherine are here with close with us, our mortgage reps. Thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate you guys being here. So welcome to the club. What's the club? We're a group of consummate professionals committed to the client-first mentality. We're all realtors with a K company who possess the highest level of product and market knowledge, and every person in this room has a proven track record of success. We're closers. Everyone in this room has proven they're a closer. So our company concept has been kind of evolving. So with all the technology changes in the industry, there's one thing that hasn't gone away, and this is a people business, right? So with all the leads online and everything that's happening, the one thing is this is a people's business. So with that in mind, we'd like to think that our agents put their clients first, and we as a company put our agents first. I don't want to trip on this thing. So the club is an exclusive, by invitation only, premier buyer's representation for the K company. We want to operate this club as a very close-knit group, okay? Maybe we'll have like our own K sign, like the club. Anyone have one? We'll have social gatherings, monthly meetings. We're going to operate as a family. And as I look through the room now, Josie's become a part of my family. We do golf outings together. Aldo has become a part of the family. In fact, when I got back from Colorado last week, my daughter had a card for him, not for me. So, we're already operating as a close-knit group, so we're looking to make this a little closer. So with the size of our company, it's been pretty difficult to develop real close business relationships with every agent. In fact, it's impossible. With over 1,000 agents, how are we going to have a close-knit relationship with everyone? You can't. So the idea of this is to, select a hand-selected few of us that we can develop that relationship that we want to with. Sorry, Jonathan keeps pointing me to go over. Into the light?
Between the chairs.
Oh, okay, between the chairs.
People watching in Orlando and Tampa.
Hi, Orlando. Hi, Tampa. So we're going to be branding the club to the public. We're going to develop a web page. We're going to be holding this out to the public as the premier buyer's representation for the K company. So there's going to be a lot of exposure tied into this. I'm confident we found the most robust, technologically advanced lead generation and client contact management system available to us in our industry. I know Jonathan and Jeremy spent at least 2 months scrubbing different software systems from the list, and we chose Commissions Inc. Has anyone in here heard of Commissions Inc.? Okay, so that's the social or the software that we chose to go with. So let me ask you guys, how many people in this room right now are buying leads? Whoa, that's a lot. Spit out a couple places from where you're buying them from. Market Leader, Realtor.com, Zillow. Okay, so Zillow, Realtor.com, those are the biggest ones, right? We all know how expensive that is, right? I have agents that have like 4 or 5 zip codes spending $1,500 a month. Some spending $2,000 or $3,000 a month on these zip codes. So the leads are very expensive. What's the most challenging part of buying those leads?
The validity, getting
Decent, genuine leads. Picking up the phone, you got to filter through. You got to call them all right. Fake phone numbers, you got to ask for the credits and everything. So we know that. And with that in mind, our goal was to set up a system where we can eliminate that for the agent. Okay. So how do we do that? What's a good lead? What do we qualify as a good lead?
Someone who's qualified.
Qualified? Qualified buyer. What did you say, Josie?
Willing and able buyer.
Willing and able buyer, okay. So is it a willing and able buyer if you get someone that says, I'm a lead on Facebook, or how do you guys, what do you count as a qualified lead?
They're willing to work with a mortgage company and get pre-qualified.
Okay,
Either have them pre-approved or, yeah.
I try not to work with buyers, I would top out with sellers.
I'm sorry, that are
I
what?
want sellers.
You want sellers,
I don't
okay,
want buyers.
okay. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, she'll take your buyers.
You can have all the buyers
I'll
you
take
want. If I have the sellers, I'll get the buyers and I can get both sides.
Well,
That's what I want.
that's good to know. So, what we've decided is, there's no point in us creating the club and then flooding you guys with 30 or 40 internet leads and having you sit there and go through each one and figure out what's good and what's not. I mean, to me, we're not really earning our take. We're not doing a good service for our agents, right? So what we've done is we've hired a dedicated staff. Jeremy and Jonathan are overseeing it, and we'd like to welcome Ricky to the team. Has anyone had a chance to meet Ricky yet? Ricky Saddles, he's the newest member of the K Company staff team. And his job is to call every lead that comes in to our lead generation platform. Now, who knows how quickly you have to call a lead these days to capture them? Within 3 minutes, right? If you're showing a house, how are you going to call a lead within 3 minutes if you're with a client? It's kind of rude, maybe, right? Okay, so having a dedicated inside sales rep to call and vet the leads and then circulate a hot lead over phone to our agents is the best way to do it. So that's what we're working on here. If he can't get a hold of them, he's going to keep trying. If we don't get a hold of them after 2 weeks, we're going to put them in a drip campaign. When they call us for information, we're going to distribute it to to an agent in that area, okay? You may be asking why you've been chosen or why you're sitting in this room. Some of you guys know that. There's good news. There's, a couple pieces of good news, actually. So if you're sitting in this room, you've been chosen by someone in our office that believes in you and that you fit the description of what I mentioned before. The other piece of good news is that if you don't like what we're pitching, agent first. That's our mentality. This is an optional program, okay? You can get up and walk out at any time. Be kind of rude. We'll probably jump you out of the K gang if you can't, but you can get up and walk out at any time. We're committed to making this work so you guys can focus on selling. And we want to take a lot of that annoying work out of the lead generation for you. The stuff that you're doing with Realtor.com, you're spending a tremendous amount of money, and we said there's got to be a better way to do this for our agents. What you're going to get in addition to the leads is VIP service from our corporate office. Like I said, if we're a close-knit family, we get a phone call. Oh, it's Steve from the club, John from the club. It's a drop everything you're doing mentality and help that person. That will also be carried through with Chad and his team over at Close With Us, and myself, Bill, Ellen, and Gloria at the title company. The reason why is, this is a collaborative effort. Without Chad and his team, and without Florida Title committing the financial resources and the staff resources, this system really wouldn't be possible. I'll just give you an example. Yesterday we sat in with Ricky. He called several leads. We had 3 hot leads that needed to be pre-approved. They agreed to be pre-approved and then transitioned to an agent. Chad and his team had less than a 2-minute response time on every single one following up. That can't happen if we don't have good mortgage people. We can't sit there and wait. If you have to capture a lead within 3 minutes, we've had contact with mortgage, we've had contact with the K company, and we're getting this lead out to someone. So you'll get a phone call from Ricky. Hey, Stephanie, are you available to take a call from Jessica? She's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $300,000. She just moved here from Virginia. You say, yep. Okay, they're getting pre-approved from Chad right now as we speak, so then to communicate with them and go back and forth. And it's just a very synergistic relationship, okay? Without further ado, I can sit up here and ramble about it for hours, but I'd like Chad to come up for a few minutes and explain some of the service that he's going to provide, just for a few minutes. And then after that, maybe Bill will get up from Florida Title. Welcome to the club, Bill. Bill just came from West Palm Beach. He was in court this morning. You want this thing? You gotta stand, you got a mic up, you gotta stay between the chair and the screen.
It's like a lot of work.
You can go, Chad, you can go all the way to the other wall.
All right.
Just don't go any further than the wall that you're close to.
All right. How you guys doing? Good. Good. My name is Chad. I'm with the Close With Us team. I'm joined by Catherine. She's our relationship manager that we have put in place for the K Company to help facilitate, to make sure you guys are getting the service that you guys deserve and timely responses. We put a few special things together also for this specific club. I know a lot of you guys are already in here. Some of you I haven't met, so it's very nice to meet you guys. As soon as my... Oh, Jonathan, you're the techie dude. So, you know, we have allocated a lot of resources to help this specific initiative. I know one of the things that Nathan had mentioned, or when he was asking about where I personally see a lot of the ball being dropped on online leads, is the follow-up. I think a lot of people are really good at calling fast up front. Where I see people fall is the follow-up after the fact, because you guys get busy with the people that are actually talking to you, and then you tend to have to let the other ones go by the wayside. But there's still good buyers in that pile of people that were unresponsive or weren't as willing to talk to you right away. And they actually did a study where they took a subset of online leads, waited 6 months, didn't call them, and started calling them after 6 months, and had a higher conversion rate on those people than they did on the ones that were just starting out up front on, you know, searching for homes online. Because a lot of those people aren't really ready yet. They're just seeing what's out there. But if you guys are only calling when they're seeing what's out there versus when they're ready, that's where that's where we lose a lot of that pull through. So we have a full-time dialer also on our team that we recently hired. That's going to help with any leads that come through us to get pre-qualified. We are going to constantly stay in front of them as well. So that will piggyback on the efforts by your team to stay in front of those people, so we can refer them back to you when they are ready. And we are not going to stop following up with them. We're going to continue to follow up with them until they tell us either we already purchased a home, or, you know, go jump off a bridge somewhere. So, you know, we're going to constantly stay in front of them until they tell us not to anymore. Is there a? It's not working.
They wanted to install a driver to your computer, so we sent it over to his, which is already on.
Cool. Nice. All right.
We really do have a nice PowerPoint.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, so we have a full-time dialer. We also have a relationship manager, and we also have a few extra things, special things that we set up just for your team that we're going to go over. You have a question, Aldo?
I just was wondering about the dialer. Once you get that lead from the agent and you continue to keep in touch with the people, how does that work with us?
So basically, here's kind of the way that it works for people that aren't familiar with our team. As soon as the lead comes into us from you guys, it's going to be sent directly through, as a conduit, through Catherine, myself, and Howard, who's my partner, the three of us. And the reason it's going to be sent through the three of us is that way somebody's seeing that lead immediately. If you send it through one person, and that one person happens to be at lunch or on the phone, these online leads need to happen right away. And I have a team of 21 people on the Close With Us team that are at your beck and call. So basically, we can reach out immediately. So an originator will call that lead immediately as soon as that lead comes over, whoever is the first one available to call. And we have 5 originators in the office every day. They're not outside originators. They're sitting in the office ready to make calls immediately. Once that customer has been qualified, then you guys will be notified as far as how much they've been qualified up to, and then you guys go out and show them properties. The dialer comes into play for the follow-up after that, because the originators are always working on that next hot lead, just like you guys usually are, but we still need somebody to proactively call them once a week until they find a property, and that's what the dialer is going to do. In our CRM, just like you guys are using Commissions Inc., which is like the Maserati, the Lamborghini of CRMs for you guys, we work with Salesforce. So we do a very good job of keeping in touch with those people. And so what's going to happen is we're going to show who referred to us, which will be Ricky, and then who the current agent is, which is whatever agent is assigned to that lead in here. So as soon as we connect with that person and they say, hey, you know, yes, I want to move forward, we're going to refer them right back to the agent that's listed in Salesforce. Does that make sense? So we are going to work very diligently up front to make sure that they're qualified to be able to go out and look at homes that you guys are showing them, because the last thing we want you guys to do is waste your time driving them around and they're not really qualified. You know, it scares me when I see this stuff like online, the Rocket Mortgage. It's like push a button, get pre-qualified. Like, how is that possible? Like, there's no way you can push a button and have all your tax returns and bank statements and pay stubs and job history and all that looked at in a push of a button. So those are the people that you're putting in your car, and that's your time that you can't get back. So anyway, I don't need the presentation so much. I'm going to tell you guys a few last little things that we have, and then I'm going to email you guys all out a copy of the presentation that are in this room. We set up a specific email address just for you guys, which is club with the K @closewithus. You email that, or Ricky emails that with the lead. It's going to come directly through Catherine, myself, and Howard to make sure that lead is responded to immediately.
Repeat that.
Club, KLUB, @closewithus.com. We also have a phone number if you guys want to call in, or if you talk to a lead and the lead wants to talk to us immediately. We also set up a phone number directly through you guys that I'll eventually be selling to Nathan because he's going to want this. It's 844-KCO-CLUB. So it's KCO-KLUB. So 844-KCO-CLUB. That number will be active in about 5 or 6 days. In the meantime, use the email address or the phone number that I give you in the email, Jonathan.
On the phone number, is KCO Club, is club with a K or with a C?
K.
Making sure.
Oh, I got it down, buddy. You know.
Close with us, is close with us with a K or a C?
That's you don't own us yet, so that's still with a C. I say, yeah, you're like Disney World. You're going to own everything eventually. Yeah,
Chad, if we're working with an agent, one of your agents that we're used to working with.
it's going to go right through them.
Okay.
Yeah, we know, for those of you who already have relationships with our originators, we are not doing anything to change that. The only time that would ever change is if they're on vacation, they're not available. We know that, obviously, they're reporting to us. So we're not gonna, if somebody's gone for 3 or 4 days, we're not gonna hold up that lead. We're gonna have somebody else call them immediately. But yeah, we know if you guys already have an established relationship, we are not doing anything to put anything in front of that or in the middle of that. It's very important to us that you guys have that rapport with the originator that you work with. We are just here as conduits to make sure that that's working smoothly for you. Yes.
I have a question. When you call people, like say they didn't want to get pre-qualified, they weren't ready at that point,
Mhm.
and you do your follow-up, you call them, are we gonna have that in our notes, like, hey, we called this person on this day, they're still not
Yes.
Yes.
pre-qualified?
So we're gonna be following up in our database also, not just Chad, they're following up on the mortgage side. But once we have that lead, Ricky touches base with them at least once a week.
Cool.
Find out where they are in the process, until that person says, stop calling us or stop,
Right.
he's gonna be on top of it. So that lead will be assigned in the database. You guys go into Commissions Inc., you'll have it on your phone. The easiest thing to do, and Jonathan will get into this, is download the app on your phone. So you can say, hey, I just spoke with John Doe, and you put the notes of that conversation. So when Ricky goes to call him, he knows that you just spoke to him the day before. Maybe he'll wait another day and ask him a different type of question.
Okay, great.
We have a very meticulous process with our leads. So when we get a lead from you guys or from anybody, we follow up 3 times in 3 days in a row, along with 3 emails if we happen to have the email address. So we make 3 attempts to reach out to them. If we haven't received any response within the 3 attempts in the first 3 days, we will then notify back the referring agent that they've been unresponsive, and we put it back on you guys. So initially, we follow up 3 times. If there's 0 response in the first 3 times, then we will put it back on you guys, and then we put them into a drip campaign to stay in front of them. I'm not going to call them forever. Once they're pre-approved, though, we do call them forever. We call them once a week until they find a home and they're ready to go, because we know how that is. Like, they'll end up going out and finding a property on their own, and they find another agent, right? So then we let you guys know, hey, guys, look, they just asked for a pre-approval letter on another property with another agent. You might want to reach back out to them and be in front of them. We also know that other property listing agents require them to get pre-approved with their lender. So it behooves us to stay in front of them week after week after week as they're out on the home search. But we will make sure that we keep you guys updated, and we'll let Ricky know, and he'll update the system, Commissions Inc. I think I already covered most of this stuff. You guys will see this flyer. I don't want to spend too much time because I've already gone over my time. The one thing I do want to cover real quick is Almost Home. It is an extremely competitive buyer's market right now. You guys all know that. I don't have to tell you guys that. I'm sitting in a room with a bunch of agents that know what they're doing. So you guys know how hard it is, and you guys know that you need every advantage you can to get your offer accepted. So our Almost Home program, we've invested a lot of money in this because we've had to hire additional underwriting help to be able to do this program for you guys. every single buyer who wants to get pre-approved, we offer them to go through this program so they can have a full-blown loan commitment prior to going out and putting offers on properties. So what does that do for you? That allows you to submit an offer. You can do, if you want to, as little as a 15-day closing. You can do a 3-day commitment period, because we already have the commitment up front. We only need 3 days because we have to update the commitment with the property information. And that gives us adequate time to look at the taxes, the MLS listing, make sure the properties, that the title is going to be okay as far as the flips and whatnot. So, but you're already going to have that up front. And we will get on the phone with every single listing agent and have a conversation and let them know exactly what your buyer's already done, and they have a full underwriting commitment signed by the underwriter. I'll give you a quick example. Sharon had an offer just the other day with a big-time listing agent that's local here. We've done quite a few deals with him, and he knows that we know what we're doing. He didn't want to take the offer. It wasn't that it was a bad offer. It was they wanted him to go through their lender, get pre-approved, all this stuff. We called him up. He knows we have a track record with him, and he said, you need to close in 21 days. He's like, I'm not taking your offer unless you close in 21 days. So most lenders will either A, tell you they can do it and not do it, or B, just tell you up front they can't do it. So because we already had the buyer done and through the system, we went ahead and got the contract accepted, 21-day closing. So we do about 500 transactions a year in the Tri-County area. That helps you guys because we have a good reputation, and when we call listing agents on your behalf, that goes a long way. And we will call those listing agents. So make sure you tell your buyers when you're talking to them, we have a program that will help get your offer put to the front of the line, because believe me, you're going to want that after you lose out on your first or second dream home. Right? So don't let that happen to them. So make sure you tell them about the Almost Home program, and I'll send you the flyers co-branded with the K Company information, so you can send that out to every buyer that you speak with. Any other questions? I know that I'm going to get kicked off the stage. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
You got it.
Thanks, Jeff. Bill, you want to come up for a minute?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I'm William Anderson with Florida Title. I'm
Try
an
to
attorney.
stand over here.
I can stand here.
Between the goalposts.
Excellent. Do I need to reiterate who I'm from? No. I have 4 Marlins tickets to give away to whoever can tell me how much a polar bear weighs. Anyone?
$1,200 pounds.
Well, you're ineligible.
890 pounds.
Wrong. The right answer is enough to break the ice. Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, guys, continuing on what Chad was saying with the communication, Florida Title is going to be dedicating a special email that's going to be going out to every single one of the title employees and owners, Nate and myself, to ensure that all your communications get answered promptly. I know that's one of the biggest issues that realtors have with title companies, is that communications often get overlooked or non-responsive. That's one thing that we're going to really work on. You guys are the cream of the crop, and you can put K's at the beginning of that too, I guess, right?
That email has already been set up, and it's club@fltitleagents.com.
Okay.
That goes to all 4 of us, and if there's an urgent question on a weekend or at night, you email that, it comes to all 4, and we'll ensure there's a response.
That's club, KLUB, at FL, like Florida, title, TITLE, agents with an S.com.
Com with a K. I just bought cream of
So I guess, guys, I'll be available after the meeting if you guys want to discuss anything else, and any questions you might have on any of your transactions. Please let me know. I can help out. I have over 15 years experience doing real estate transactions and litigation and all that good stuff, so landlord-tenant stuff. So just let me know if you have any questions afterwards. Willing to answer that.
Absolutely. And also with the title company, what are some of the objections your clients have had, or what are some of the issues you guys have had using title companies in the past? Is it pricing, communication? A little bit of both? Both, okay. So here's what we want to do. Everyone always calls in and asks, what are your fees? What are your settlement fees? What are your settlement fees? We don't like setting a fixed, discounted settlement fee. One, it doesn't look good to the public. We don't want to come off as a discount company. And two, we want to empower our agents to negotiate those fees. So for agents that are in the club, and in the club only, we're going to give a little freedom. You guys can negotiate that price. All we want you to do is negotiate with us. So every file we start at $8.95. We just started there. Because if we started at $2.95, they want it for $1.95. If we start at $5.95, they want it $4.95. It just doesn't matter. So every file we start at $8.95. Okay. If your client says, "Oh, that seems a little high," okay, well, what do you want to pay? Go get another quote. Shoot us an email. Hey, my client just got a quote at $4.95. Can we meet that? Bill and I talk about it. Absolutely. For a club member, we will meet almost any price if it's realistic that any other title company will do. But we want it to come from the agent, so you guys look like you have the power, and that that you're putting them in good hands, and it just, I think it looks a lot better for you guys. So our commitment, I'm putting my name on these title deals, and for anyone that's referred a deal recently to the title company, they've probably got an email from me thanking them for referring the deal, and I'm asking you to let me know if you need anything. So I am your direct access point. Should you need anything at all, we will make it happen for you, okay? Any questions?
And continuing a little bit what Nate was just saying about the negotiating point, I mean, we want to make you guys look like the heroes with your clients in the transaction. So, if you do come across a client that has a special need for a lower price, we'll let you guys show that to your clients, so you guys look like you're doing a good job, which you guys already are.
I think Jonathan wants to show you guys quickly what the app looks like and give you guys an opportunity to download it in your phone.
Everybody,
Start
take your
playing
phone
with
out. Take your phone out.
Take a selfie and then go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. I hope nobody in this room has a flip phone. No, good. Okay, it's called Sync, C-I-N-C, Agent, C-I-N-C Agent. Download it. Yes, learn it, live it, love it.
Can you talk about where you're
Who needs help
It's that one.
downloading?
That
Anybody
one.
need help
So the
downloading?
leads,
It may say Commissions Inc., by the way.
the leads are coming from multiple sources. So they're coming from Google AdWords campaigns, different online advertising, purchased advertising. Every lead that we've had, we've bought, essentially. Some organic through our website, it'll grow the longer we have the commission in the platform. But so it's just various different sources. So
Everybody got it?
the idea is to bring good leads.
Shouldn't take long. Everybody got it? Okay, everybody already has an account. Use your email address that you always use with us. Your password is your first name, 1500. Make sure you change your password because everybody knows it now.
I logged in with my password and I got in.
Your K Company one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it worked.
Do we allow it to send us notifications?
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you allow the notifications and you'll see why. Trust me. Your first name, 1500. Kendra, 1500. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that.
Yeah, it's capital letter, first letter.
Not everybody's though. So try both ways.
Notifications
Only
in
Thomas.
order to
Allow notifications and you will see
go
why.
into settings first.
No, when you open it and you download the app, you log in, it'll ask you to allow notifications, pop-up notifications, push notifications,
Oh, gotcha, that was the big.
all that stuff. Okay, so. Yours says bad password, Tammy 1500? With, correct. Capital T, lowercase t?
I tried both. Mine says bad.
Okay, give me a minute. Yours is not going in? Okay. Hold those. It's not. Yours worked? They're not though, because I don't know your passwords for the K Company website. And I programmed everybody's. Sharon's in. Can you write down Michelle, Tammy, and Karen for me, please?
No, you know what, I put in my K Company password and it pulled it up.
All right, so
That's what I use too, so I don't know how it works.
I don't have access to passwords, so I don't know that.
Okay.
Pure luck. It works. Okay, so this app will become your best friend for the club with a K. You do have a website, you do have access in the back end. However, this will tell you in real time when a lead is assigned to you, when a lead goes back on, when you set yourself a reminder to call somebody or follow up or an appointment. This will pop up like you got a text message. Exactly. Now, the way that we envision this happening is Ricky will call every single lead as soon as it comes in. When Ricky has a live lead on the phone, he's going through the initial conversation already. And what he's going to do is call you guys. So when you see Ricky calling, answer the phone. It means money, okay? When Ricky gets you on the phone, he'll give you a quick introduction on what the customer situation is, if they've been pre-approved or not, where they're looking, price point, bedrooms, what their background is. They may have a house to sell. I can tell you from some of the tests, we've had seller leads coming in as well. Not as many as buyers, but we do have seller leads coming in. So Ricky will qualify that person, keep them on the phone, and get you on the other line, then patch the two of you together, give a quick introduction, then leave you to it, okay? We've already experienced this a couple times already as we've been testing the system, but get in that application. It allows you to make phone calls from there. It will log when you made your phone call. It will allow you to make your notes in there in that client, and please make notes. That is something we expect of you guys. So we don't know if you're working the leads, if you're following through. We're spending a lot of money on marketing for these leads, okay? A lot more than in a single zip code for Realtor.com. So we value these, and we want to see you working them. If you don't put notes, you don't make notes that you called, we don't know that you're working them, and we're going to kindly ask you to leave, okay? So we expect you guys to follow up and follow through on all of these. Yeah.
Does Chad, anybody working on that end, will they be able to put in notes also so we can see?
Catherine has access to it. We're playing with that a little bit to see how much access she has and ability she has on her side. I know that we can send her the leads directly through there when we do get a request for pre-approval. Like yesterday, we had a few of them. We assigned it to her. They instantly picked up and emailed us back that they've spoken with the client.
Add something too. First off, does the number come from 5583 if Ricky calls them?
I don't know yet.
Oh, yeah,
what
I don't know yet.
Yeah, what number should we recognize?
Don't know.
I don't know yet. We're trying to have a direct number so you know exactly that it's Ricky and not the office calling you. So
we'll want you guys on, because you guys get so many calls, we want you guys to be able to recognize.
Program it in your phone.
Getting a number, so when we get that defined, we'll send it to you. If you just put it in your phone books as club, and then you'll
Money.
know.
Ricky Money. Ricky Money. Ricky Money, okay? So become familiar with the app. It's really, really easy to use. I've been using it for 2 weeks, testing it out, following up, watching over Ricky's shoulder. It's a really, really useful app and allows you to have a lot of insight on the customers themselves, where they came from, what their situation is, how they found us, all of that kind of stuff.
So for the next 6 weeks, we're doing a soft launch with this, okay? So we really need your feedback. We need all your agent input. This is a collaborative effort. It doesn't work if we're not all communicating with one another. And like Jonathan said, we can track everything, every single lead, every single phone call, every single conversion. So it's not to see it's to see who has a higher closing ratio, so we can help the people that have a lower one. If you guys are going out of town for a week, or if this isn't for you, you're too busy, you don't want to take the leads, you just got to let us know. And if they're going out of town for a week, they can put it in the app, right?
I'm not using that feature. We're not using that feature because of the fact that we would like to live transfer people on the phone. That's not something that we can go in. That's for automatic routing if we were digitally transferring you things.
So then if you're out of town for a week, you have to let us know so
Yeah.
Ricky can put you on the list with the dates, so he's not trying to call you the whole time. Because if he calls you 5 times in a week and you never answer, you can't transfer the lead, it's not going to mark well on your stats. So just let us know.
We're taking notes. We want to make sure you guys are on top of this and following through. So this is, I mean, if you like paying for advertising and having leads bought in, coming into your email, this is that on steroids. Okay, we're doing the work for you, the legwork with the inside sales. We're calling, we're following up, we're qualifying them, we're getting them set to just speak to you. So you pick up the phone and get working. That's really it. As far as the web application goes, there is additional stuff in there, but the mentality is you're not getting someone unless they've spoken with us. That is the main thing to know. Okay, so look at the notes before you pick up the phone and call them if we texted you the lead. You'll get text message notifications, you'll get app notifications, you'll get email notifications. You're not going to miss it. Everywhere you look, you're going to see a lead coming through to you, okay? Look at the notes. If we're not live transferring them on the phone, maybe they said call us back at 1 o'clock. Look at the notes before you pick up the phone and call someone. We're putting that in there, okay? I know Stephanie had someone for 1 o'clock yesterday. We transferred at 10:30 in the morning. If she picked up the phone and called, it would look like we're not communicating with each other. Customer wouldn't be happy. You all know where it goes from there. Jeremy, what's up?
What was I going to ask there? Are they going to have, what about weekends? how are we gonna, we're still gonna push, you know, again, we're doing a soft opening,
Mm-hmm.
how are we pushing weekends or off hours?
As of right now, we're trying to contact everybody even on weekends. As far as midnight, stuff like that, we're definitely not calling them at midnight. We're gonna call them the following morning and try and get them on the phone. Just like what you would do if you got a lead through Realtor.com.
So there's a chance that you might get a lead that's not coming straight from Ricky, that will be assigned to you, they'll pop up in your email or on the app, that we invite you to look over what the parameters are, what their searches are, what the price point is, and then Ricky will put some notes in there if he transfers it, if he's had time. But sometimes you might get a lead that's, you know, Ricky hasn't called you on, so please follow up on those as well.
But if you did get that lead, it's probably because it's in your area. Like John created a list and it kind of has all the areas basically
Where you're looking, where you guys work, your farming areas. A lot of you got
In the coming months, the meetings that we have, we'll do a lot of training. If you're having issues converting the leads on your own, you're still gonna get some leads coming in. So you wanna know, we'll share it with you exactly what our technique is on the phone. It's tried,
take
it's
that down.
tested. So we'll help you guys convert those leads.
Okay. Go ahead, Sharon. What's up? Sorty?
Kind of what he was saying, can we kind of have a sample of what he's selling them so we know where to pick up? Like, are you
Absolutely.
guys telling them that we're calling them right away?
No. The idea is that it's a live transfer, that they're on hold when he calls you.
Okay.
They're on hold. He's going to give you a quick introduction.
We don't wanna give you leads that we haven't vetted. We wanna know that we have a real phone number, that we've spoken to the person, they're still interested. We don't wanna burn you guys out filtering through leads.
Are you gonna put them on hold and call me and then transfer? Oh,
Yeah, or I'll be like, when's the best time to call you? Can she call you in 5-10 minutes? Expect a call.
Our
If you,
desire
but
is
there
to
will
do
be
a-
a time, what Jeremy was saying is on a weekend or late at night, or there may be a situation where you get a lead emailed into you from our system, or from some of the other marketing that we're doing, or the club webpage that we're developing. If that lead comes in, we'll have sort of a script to help you capture that person, so it flows right in with what we're doing.
To underscore that, the live lead transfer, that's why it's so important you guys know when we're calling. Because, as you guys know in sales, if you give that time in between, you might lose that person. We had a lead come in 2 days ago. We called, she had a broker that was unresponsive, she had a bid in on a property. Didn't hear back. It was less than 24 hours. We called her, she was ecstatic that we did, and we put her on with Stephanie immediately, and that was it. She's off and running, that
That
other
wasn't
broker's out.
Different Stephanie.
Different stuff.
No, sorry. I was gonna say she's up
It's
doing
not
it.
all about you, Stephanie.
I heard
It's all about
Stephanie.
No.
But the point being is, we were able to interject the K Company agent, you know, right there and then, and run with it because of the
And this person
responsiveness.
wanted to put an offer in on a property, and the other agent wasn't calling him back. So that's an active lead, right?
That's how volatile it is. You know that. Steve, what's up?
So I receive leads from another service where it's a patch through like this as well, and it seems to, it's working for me. And this sounds very exciting. That being said, there are very specific zip codes that I work, that I have sort of like an expertise in. Are you all gonna be able to get to a point, we talked about this a little bit, where we can give you those zip codes? based
It may
on where
decrease
you're
your
looking?
volume. So if you're okay with that, that's fine.
I mean,
I'm okay with that.
I mean, I don't know, like if somebody says I'm looking in Fort Lauderdale, well, that's a big area. I have, you know, so explain to us how you're.
We
assigning
do have
those.
it by cities. So if
Okay,
you are
so-
specific for a zip code, it will drastically reduce the volume that we're putting you through.
You can put whatever parameters you want.
Yeah.
So when we're cycling through, we're
Not
going
whatever
through-
parameters you want. No.
Okay, well, you could
Explain how we
you
can.
can do pretty close. Like there's some people say, I
No.
only do East Fort Lauderdale. Well, then it's, like he said, it's gonna narrow. So when we have a Fort Lauderdale lead east, we're going in a rotation. So that doesn't mean you're gonna get all those east. So the more you narrow it in, the less leads you get.
Okay, so the way, okay, so this works a little differently than, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want, what I meant by that, sorry if I jumped in. I don't want somebody saying, I'm only taking buyers $500,000 and up. That's it. I'm sorry. You can go. If you want to do that, that's not acceptable.
No, but I mean, I think it's important to find out where we work, because
I agree.
Because people need, all of this is about timeliness. I've been doing it for a while.
100%.
So you can't touch that person right away. And for sake of argument, you know, let's say you call me, but this person's looking in, I don't know, Deerfield, but I don't know that area. So that
You're
that
not-
would
you're
be
not-
a waste of the time. You should really get that to, okay.
And we would like to know that. If you do get a lead there, come right back to us. You shouldn't.
That's why I
You
was wondering
shouldn't.
if we could just tell
We
you.
do have things, most of you got an email from me asking you what your farming area was.
I didn't.
Most. I already know yours.
Sorry.
Come on, Steve. Most of you got that email. I'd say at least 60% of you. The rest of you I practically already know. If you got that, it's because we were labeling you for a certain area. And that's why. If you're East Broward, we know where it kind of cuts off. You're not going to get a Pompano Deerfield lead. That's going to be somebody that works right here out of the office, like Sharon right next to you is down the street.
And what Jonathan was trying to say, when you want to narrow it so much, with the amount of time and resources we're spending in this program, it's going to be very frustrating if every agent had a very picky criteria. It wouldn't work. We couldn't do it. The software system alone is thousands of dollars, and then we're staffing it, and we're buying leads, and we're developing, Google ad campaigns. It's a very expensive process to generate these leads.
I mean,
Rami?
I have a question, I'm sorry, when will the live calls start coming through? 'Cause this
They've
is-
actually already
I got
started.
emails.
You were getting emails while we had leads already coming in from our advertising before we actually hired and trained Ricky.
Right, and we wanted to have this meeting before we just started calling everybody. Hey, we got leads.
So I had leads already flowing in from sources that we had started off with, and I was emailing them out instead of throwing them in the garbage.
The ones that look like they're real.
Some of them actually have already started working. I know Josie has some appointments with some. Sharon had a live one. There's one up in West Palm as well.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Now
fine.
That will be done.
That won't, you won't get
I
those.
was only able to contact most of them through email.
And if there is a bad phone number, we're also not throwing them in the trash. We're doing the legwork for you guys.
That's why we have the software.
It's not getting
really.
transferred to you anymore. We have this software. It tells us actually if it's a valid phone number or not, as well as an email. It sends a test. It
And
sends a
to
ping.
Chad's
It's
point,
amazing.
Most of these leads aren't ready right away. So we're transferring the hot leads to you, and we're focusing on capturing the people that are ready to buy down the road. Every other realtor gets worn out. You can't keep up with it. You're out there busy. You can't follow up with someone every 2 weeks for 8 months when you haven't really gotten a response. But I can't tell you how many people, if you follow up with them for 6 months or 8 months or even a year, they'll pick up the phone one day and be, you're the only person that stayed with me this whole time. I want to use you. That's one of the most effective way of capturing leads.
What I mean by doing the legwork is we're emailing them automatically. In the first 10 days, they get an email every single day if they haven't responded to our phone calls.
So there's no drip email campaign associated with this app? It's something that you all
No,
do?
it's through the app.
In the app?
Yeah,
So
it's
that's something
we've
we can set up as well? or-
we've set up ours. Once they're assigned to you, there are also other ones that you can set up in addition. If someone's unresponsive, absolutely, do that. If we haven't assigned them to an agent, they're on our drip campaign for 10 days, and then every 2 weeks until they respond. I believe it's for a year.
But do we have the flexibility to enter people, or is it just strictly you all?
If they're in this, they're going to be part of the club, so you'll be subject to the percentage. I would use your separate CRM for your own stuff.
Yeah, for the sake of time, let Jeremy get into what.
Sorry.
Yeah, because you've touched on most of what I was gonna say. So before we kind of get into too much of the Q&A, we'll see what I have left here. Again, as we noted, this is a soft opening. I think we all discussed. You guys are invited to this program because of who you are, what you've done, what you represent, your diligence, your ability to close, et cetera, your personality, all that good stuff. So we're waiving the fee. Again, this is a tremendous spend on our effort. There is going to be, moving forward, once we get this really rolling and cranking, $500 initiation and $100 a month. That $100 a month, we're not going to charge you guys we're not going to start charging that till August. The reason is we want 4 to 6 weeks to get feedback from you guys, to get Ricky, knowing how to really qualify and hone the process. So this is a very collaborative and interactive effort. So just to underscore the desire for us to you guys to put notes in every time you call. Your calls will be tracked when you use the phone, so we'll be able to see that as well. So all these things will really help us maximize the spend and increase your ability to get viable leads and quick turnarounds. So Nate kind of covered the what, Jonathan kind of covered more of the technical how. Let's see, I'm probably going to go in a little bit more about how we collectively maximize this here.
What about splits? Is everyone clear on that?
No, we don't.
Okay, so, when I started at the beginning, I was talking about how, the K company is, our brand is putting people first, and as a corporation, it's agent first, right? I think we demonstrate that as good as we can with our commission split. $59 a month, $59 a transaction. It's the most aggressive commission split available to agents, specifically with the amount of resources we provide. So we wanted to come up with a way to, if we're gonna, charge a commission split on anything, we're gonna earn it. And any agent that we've talked to has agreed that a 25% split for qualified phone transfer leads is fair. So that's what we're offering to everyone in this room, okay? It'll be $99 a month. This Jeremy said, started on August 1st, and the commission split is 25%. Now, that is for this room. People are gonna wanna get into this lead generation. We have a lot of agents that need leads, want leads, but probably can't convert them. So, moving forward, we're gonna be doing training and introducing new agents. Once we've flooded you guys, we'll be introducing new agents, but between, their take will be 60%, maybe 70%, until they can prove that they're at the caliber that's in this room right now, okay? This is not a fly-by-night type of thing that we're setting up here. I spent a lot of time and money consulting with one of the best lead generation consultants. He developed a company in 3 years that's doing almost $900 million a year in sales with 80 agents, okay? So each agent's averaging over $10 million a year in sales from lead generation. We're mimicking what that company is doing, and I will never tell you who they are or where they are. But we are mirroring exactly what they're doing with a subsector of the K company, okay? That's you guys. So you can't join this company unless you're a multi-million-dollar producer. If you produce less than $7.5 million a year, you're fired, okay? So we said, wow, that would be kind of cool if we had something like that. Let's take the best agents that we have and create the club and do it that way. So in addition to consulting with this guy who developed this company, we've also hired a guy by the name Mark Hunke out in Colorado who has been dialing for dollars for 20 years. He's a $20 million producer himself from dialing. He has a caller there. We just recruited a $43 million producer that does the same thing in Colorado, and we're getting all the advice from all these people and the consultant to create this whole system. Okay, so it's not a fly-by-night type of thing.
Good hand. So, fumble.
That was my rant for the
So I think we've pretty much covered it. So let me just kind of summarize here and reiterate just a few points, and then we'll open it up to a quick Q&A and call it, a kickoff meeting here. We've already talked about the expectations, the use of the platform. That provides us the transparency on really how to improve it in the next 4 to 6 weeks. If a lead does wither and moves on, and you move it to that stage, know that we, much like Chad's system, will put it into drip campaigns. So 6 months down the road, maybe a year, maybe longer, you might get that person back. You know how that works. Sometimes leads you work for 2 years before they come around. So, we will build more of a pipeline as this gets, more mature. We talked about that. Again, obviously, the amount of touches you make to that contact, if it's qualified as a lead, is pretty important. A couple interesting sales statistics, just as a little note of digression here. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% on the second, 5% on the third, 10% on the fourth. 80% of sales are on the 5th to 12th contact. 48% never even reach out. So we ask again, of course, that you do what you already know how to do well, and follow up and be diligent with that lead. And what else do we have? If you, again, to pitch you on that, if you get a lead assigned, and we've had this happen once, and it's not your area, or for whatever reason you can't handle, please just let us know, and we'll get that taken care of and reassigned appropriately then. That means that, you're going to see some rentals get in here. That's just it just comes with the program. We will do our best to ferret out the ones that are worthwhile, for whatever that may be. But we will get some of those. So, again, we're relying on your responsiveness, your diligence, and using the CRM. If the requirements of this are a little bit onerous for you, no harm, no foul. Just let us know.
Right, agent first, you guys. This is an optional program. And any other leads or anything you're working is on the $59 a month, $59 a transaction. So it's of no additional cost to you until August when it's $99 a month, and leads, there's a split. But if it's not for you, it's optional. Okay. Also, that we just want to touch on is, we can't force our clients to use any specific mortgage broker or title company, but it's expected in this program for offering this high level of service that you are going to provide close with us and Florida Title as an option to your clients. And we're going to be tracking that also. Because as I said before, without the resources that they're investing into this, it really wouldn't work, okay?
Let me elaborate on that. just for you guys' benefits, much like Ricky's got his talking points, we're gonna give you guys a few talking points on Close With Us team and Florida Title. Really 5 things. What's the value proposition of using them? So we're gonna give that to you guys so you're armed with that ability to convey, you know, why we're using them. And then again, this isn't just a lead generation. I call you, here's a lead. This is a whole program. You know, again, we're getting dedicated email addresses, dedicated bat phones.
And we realize that if we request that you're using in-house services, we have to provide the absolute highest level of customer service available. We can't fall short on that. And that's my commitment to you. That's why members of the club have my direct email address to tell me if someone on Chad's team is falling short, or someone on the title team is falling short, or someone in my staff is falling short. When you're a club member, I want to know. If you're not a club member, I don't really care. But I'm serious, I want to know, okay?
And to that end, I mean, Nate's put together the whole idea, and we've tried to carry out that we're gonna market you guys as our premier agents. We're gonna put it up on our social media, on our websites, or multiple websites. This allows you to show further credibility and why, you know, in a field of 137 realtors, 37,000 realtors in the state, you know, what makes you guys you and why someone should go with you. So
Yeah, we're gonna come up with a logo. You're gonna be our premier buyer's agents.
and you'll be able
Members
to
of the club.
parlay that on your personal websites, on your email signatures, you know. This is kind of a top performers type program that we will work out the fine details of and present it in a very professional manner that you would want to certainly, you know.
Right, it's also gonna be a
lean on.
social thing. You know, there's gonna be HAPA. This is a primary focus of the K company right now, so.
So yeah, I mean, you can use these links, you know, to link back to you and further your standing as a realtor. So this is a little bonus ad, and we're gonna keep finding ways to make this bigger and greater and more prestigious. Kind of going back to, you know, you guys are our hand selection here. We feel all of you guys are gonna succeed immensely. If you're too busy already, or something else, great, just let us know. We do have over 800 active realtors here in Florida, and there's a long list of people that want to get in this. So I'll ask that you kind of keep this in confidence for now. I don't want to get a flood of calls, everyone asking why I'm not in the club.
We're already getting that.
We are.
And it's kind of a hard question to answer sometimes.
And I'm basically, you know, my go-to response, so you know, is that we're beta testing this. We're rolling this out with our best and brightest, and we will open it up to more once we can provide enough leads. Again, that's why we're not gonna charge you here this first 6 weeks, so we ensure that we're filtering out enough leads to your farming areas. So, you know, I mean, even though $99 a month for qualified leads and a live handoff might be the greatest deal I've heard of, you know, if we're not getting you that volume of leads, then it's not.
Right,
from
and
a
if you don't
corporate
feel like the value's there on a split, then you're free to, you know, opt out of the program. We just wanna know. So far, any response we've gotten from people is, listen, if you guys are gonna do all this and earn your take, it's okay. Yes, question?
I have just a quick question. I'm in the Miami Kendall area, and I don't speak Spanish, so I wanted to know if there's anybody on the team that speaks Spanish.
Good, great point.
There's several. Yes, Kasha?
So I have a question in regards to, we have like a platform that all of us can, I'm thinking like Facebook page, so we can all communicate, like her question, right? I have a client and I speak Spanish, like.
That's a good idea.
We're gonna be,
Brilliant.
we discussed either doing a Facebook or on the back-end forum of our agent dashboard. But there is going to be a dedicated club communication online and also in person. I mean, we want, you know, like I said earlier, just when I sit in this room, I know most of you, I'm gonna get to know you all better if you're in the club. But, you know, Sharon's around all the time, Steve, John, I've known them, you know, Kevin's come and did the Alzheimer's walk with us. Kasha runs a nonprofit, and I'm honored to sit on the board of that nonprofit. You know, we're a tight-knit group here, and that's the idea of this group.
Is everybody in this room on Facebook?
Yes.
Who's not? Greg.
He's still on MySpace.
I just wanted to.
Time to bounce into 2005. Anyone else have any questions? Chad, Bill, you guys have?
I do
anything?
want to add one more thing here that I think we glossed over. Do we have headshots for everyone in the room?
Ooh, yes. Okay, you guys, we are marketing this as a premier group. Everyone has to have a professional headshot
Not a selfie.
with a white background. No selfies. You must be clothed, preferably a gray, black, you know, color, somewhat color coordinated, darker color with a white background.
that is important. We are, you guys see we're doing some renovations here. This is our new agent training room. We'll get back to our professional development series that we'll have a lot more people with and presentations. We'll bring back Jennifer, our professional photographer, to do more headshots. She does a great job. Some of you, I look around, already have
Does everyone have a
headshots, so-
professional headshot? Anyone here that does not have one?
How many don't?
Okay, so, yeah, right, Aldo does a new one every time we offer it, that's fine. You're so vain, Aldo, you're so vain. He likes it, after he goes to the gym every morning, he wants a new headshot. So, yeah, we need a white background, so you can either go somewhere, preferably we don't wait till the next professional development series or a meeting, but we will bring in a photographer. If you don't have one by then, make sure you show up for the next meeting. And listen, we're operating this as a family. It's not like if you don't come to the meeting, you're out. We've never been a mandatory meeting type of company. But it's expected that you're gonna participate if we're doing this because of the amount of resources. And we're gonna make it fun, all right?
Yeah, that's, at the end of the day, we all want to have fun with it. Yeah, work hard, but also have fun with it.
Has anyone ever seen Chad do a keg stand?
You still have the SAE tattoo on your ankle? All right.
He's gonna get a club tattoo, that's next. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Steve?
I've never used Florida Title. I don't have your
Shame on
contact
you.
information, where you're located, where can closings take
All right, so
place?
we're located in here.
So they
The closings are in there, and the email is club@FLTitleAgents.
So the closings always have to take place in the office?
They do not.
Okay, so.
No, we can close anywhere in the state.
I mean, okay.
If it's outside of the Tri-County area, we will pay for the notary closer to go. So if you have a deal outside of the, you don't have to worry like, oh, they're gonna have to pay an additional fee or anything. We will cover that cost, okay?
By the way, guys, my name's Jeremy Beard. I look around, I realize there's a bunch of you that I haven't met. So my name's Jeremy. We might have spoken on the phone. Also, just another side note, much like this program, we've enjoyed a lot of growth here lately. We're continually trying to find ways to improve and give you guys more features and options to help you do what you do. So I always want your feedback of, hey, what would be great? We did just open up a company store, really more for convenience sake. We vetted a number of vendors to provide pretty much everything you need. By no means are you obligated to use it. Right underneath our company stores, our logos, you can use your own printer, your own apparel person, whatever. But no, you can get badges, car magnets, packages. They're all good value for what they are. It's just, again, convenient stuff for you to brand yourself as a K-Company agent if you so desire.
Sorty, you had a question?
Yeah, the club members, will our website be edited by you guys to make sure it looks,
Beautiful.
yes?
That's why we want,
Individual websites.
it's gonna be a page on our website.
Okay.
It's gonna be a feature everywhere. We're gonna put it on our social media, we're gonna advertise, it's gonna be part of our lead generation, so people know that they're going in with good agents, okay? So that's why we want a very uniform, white background, good headshots, professional.
What we can do to that end, and that's good feedback. Do you have one of the Playster accounts or your own website?
Yes.
Okay, great. What we can do is we'll come up with some sort of logo or, star you can put on there showing that you're a premier K-Company agent. If you're looking for something like that, that's simple enough.
It's kinda like certified buyer, whatever.
Right,
whatever
we
you
do
want.
want to elevate you guys.
Eventually, people are gonna know, cause it's gonna be the logo KLUB, the club, and people are gonna know what that is. We're gonna, we'll have our mission statement and the list of agents and the areas that you service there. Steve?
All right, I realize it might be early for you to be able to answer this, but just ballpark, do you have any idea the number of leads we can all expect to get? Given
Jonathan?
our area of expertise or where
You're
we're
not gonna like my answer, I'll tell you that. My response to people, whenever you ask how many leads, 0. Expect 0, be happy with everything on top of it.
You'll get a decent amount of leads. Just from our testing, we can see them pouring in. And we have a few tricks up our sleeves that we haven't turned on yet, waiting for this meeting and everything. It's not like a Realtor.com where we're saying, you get this zip code, you're paying $400 a month and we'll give you 6 qualified leads. It's not like that.
Realtor.com
So-
guarantees you 24 leads over a 6-month period. That's 4 leads a month. We expect more than that.
Absolutely. We do.
Absolutely.
But also realize that, in the Tri-County area, we have a concentration of agents here. So as I look around, I know we have 8 people that will be vying for the same leads, as opposed to Jacksonville, Tampa, Sarasota.
Yeah, our
Space.
Sarasota agents loving life right now
Yeah,
because there's one
they're gonna-
club
they have
agent in
2 people.
Sarasota.
They're gonna get
I
plenty.
think she's watching this on video.
Right,
now.
or she will be.
4 people watching.
And
4
Scott.
people?
So,
Where are
it
they?
depends on the area. We will increase our spend in certain areas to try to get more as we get this going a little bit. That's again why this is a 4 to 6 week kind of work in progress before we cement the program.
So do the leads go out in a rotation basis or
No,
a first
it's
respond
before-
basis?
That's a good question. Now, do we want to just go round robin and look at response times and say, Steve, we gave them 3 minutes, rip away, next? No, not necessarily. We want to give you guys a little more leeway. Again, you guys are all proven. That being said, this will probably be a performance-based deal because we're going to have the transparency, we're going to have the metrics. You know, if I know Heidi's just on top of every lead and maybe someone else in her area is not as snappy in the response and I have a great lead, well, I might be more inclined to send it Heidi's way if I know she can.
But we're also gonna communicate that to the agents
Right.
that aren't
So
up to par. I mean,
right,
it's
exactly.
not
So
that
I'll talk-
cutthroat. We're gonna be, right now, we're in a simple round robin rotation, to answer your question now. But it's gonna evolve, and with the cost that these leads come, we have to give them to people that are closing. That's why we have this group of people in this room. If we open it up to everyone, who's answering the phone, who's available? And it's not like every single lead, but, you know, after we look back on a month, we'll be able to see, okay, you know, Ricky answered his phone 13 times, every single time. Steve didn't answer once. Obviously, we're gonna look in that, and we're gonna have a conversation, hey, what's going on, what can we do to help? So we can even, our goal is to even out the numbers and have every single person in this room producing. So,
Right,
you know.
we're not gonna be draconian about it, you know, we're gonna work with all you guys and some of you, they're really busy.
Yeah,
and, hey,
the importance of having the data isn't to prioritize what agent we're gonna give it to, it's to make sure that we're all operating at the same level.
And is there like any time frame set up? Like a couple of the services that I'm involved in, the leads are real time. So for sake of argument, I could get a lead at 10:15 at night.
Correct.
But I know that that person's on the computer.
It depends on the source.
Okay, so,
Since we're getting it from so many different sources, the ones that are direct contacts from our website or from our Google advertising are live.
so,
And
Phew.
that's the whole point is you're not getting an email lead, Steve. You're getting a live phone transfer.
right, so that being said, what sort of, I mean, what hours is Ricky, I mean, he's not gonna work all night. I mean, like, so how does, what?
No, he's
timeline-
gonna work all night.
Ricky never
We haven't told him that
Ricky
yet.
doesn't sleep.
Ricky doesn't sleep. Ricky makes his money.
He hangs upside down at night and he.
All right, so I just, because the leads that I get from others, I know they're real time, and if, I call them, I don't really care what time it is.
We don't expect you guys, no more than I would ask Ricky to, you know, we're past a reasonable hour, we still have to have quality of life with our family and friends.
So,
You know, we leave that kind of to your discretion, you know, depending on if you're the type of person that will pick up the phone at 10:30 at night, if you know that person's gonna ring. I am, I would.
And
but
the
I'm not saying
great thing
you have
about,
to.
well, and the great thing about Commission Inc., at the end of the month, we can look at that. When did the lead come in? When were they called?
okay.
You know.
And everybody has their phone now, so.
And everything we're tracking is to help us and make sure we're all operating as efficient as possible.
Let me add that there's gonna be other tool sets too for communication. So if it is 10:30 at night, you know that person's on the phone, maybe we do, maybe you send them and we will have email templates set up. We'll have text message templates, kind of like BombBomb. We could even probably do video. If you just wanna kick out a text message, hey, I see you're looking at these properties in this range, I'd love to speak with you first thing in the morning. You know,
And
set up a time.
So what we're doing right now, if a lead comes in and they don't answer, we call them every 2 days, okay? We don't call them every single day, we don't wanna become a nuisance. We call them every 2 days for 2 weeks.
They are getting emails every day though.
If we don't get them on the phone in 2 weeks, then we call them every 2 weeks. And then every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks. Because really, if they're not gonna answer you in the first couple of weeks, they probably moved on, they're not a real buyer.
Yeah, we don't want you guys to chase, you know, a fairy tale. But again, that's your discretion. You guys know better than we do, you know, when to move to the next stage with a lead. But as they move further down that, you know, either towards a close or non-responsive, they'll just be put in a drip campaign and, you know, they'll be still assigned to you, and at which point that becomes a viable lead again, you know, then you'll be the first one to know.
Any other questions?
Okay, so just to have an idea of what's going on, a lead comes in, he calls them. If that person says, I'm ready to buy right now and it's cash,
You're gonna know, you're gonna see in your app, it's gone to Chad. Read
the notes.
Read the notes.
Yeah, when you get a lead, the first thing you wanna do is assess that lead. And you'll get a feel, you know, what the price point is, how many properties they looked at, and then look at the notes. So Ricky will send it to pre-qual, at the same time, he'll call you. And for the sake of not, you know, reiterating twice, he'll put you guys together, make the introduction, and then he will go back over what the stats are. Here's John Doe, they're looking to buy the next 2-3 months, here's what they're qualified for, and then you run with it. But you'll get that base facts. Aldo.
This question's for Chad. Did you say that you qualified someone just recently in 2 minutes?
No, I was saying that I was actually.
Disqualified them in 2 minutes.
To the advertisement for Rocket Mortgage, I go on their site and it says, you can get a pre-approval in 2 minutes. Click this button here and you're pre-approved.
I said we got a response time with them.
We don't do that. Response
I said
time.
we've gotten a response time from them, so we know that they've received our lead and they've put that person into process.
Okay, so
There's
how-
nothing worse when you have a hot lead and you're sitting there going, did the mortgage broker get my call or did they get anything? They respond.
Like as an example, real quick, we got one, just yesterday, we got one, and within 13 minutes, we had already talked to the customer, had a full-blown, initial conversation with them as far as qualification, and sent them out the list of items that we need for the pre-approval, and updated Kevin on the status, saying that we've already spoken to them, which Kevin is the agent on it, who was assigned to it, and let them know. So that was all within 13 minutes of us receiving the lead. We were already done with that entire first conversation. So, we are gonna make sure that we still fully qualify them. We are not gonna just say, hey, do a verbal credit form. Say, how's your credit? Good, okay, you're good. But I have a quick question though, if you don't mind, just because I'm listening to the way, and I guess I'm a little confused. I wanna make sure that they're understanding. So on the live.
I'm not ready
transfer-
for this.
I know, I asked the hard question. So on the live transfer, how is the agent gonna read the notes and know what's?
On the live transfer, there's not notes yet. Ricky is going to give them verbal notes.
So Ricky will patch.
So
the first lead.
Ricky's on the phone with the lead. Would you like to speak to one of our agents in Deerfield area? We have we have a specialist in that area. Hold on. And then he's gonna get him on the phone and say, hey, I have John Doe on the phone right now. He's looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I've already submitted a pre-approval request with Close With Us. Or he's already been pre-approved by his own bank. Try to get him over to Close With Us, da-da-da-da-da. You know, Ricky meet John, John meet Ricky, and it's done.
And anything he tells you on the phone will be placed in written notes.
And then he's gonna go in and put the notes so you can revisit it after.
Are we doing it?
And then we're also following up with that person. Maybe, you know, you're in an appointment or whatever it may be.
If we have one, for example, like Stephanie's the other day, where he asked for a call back at a later time, we are following up with them 2 days later to make sure they were in communication with you.
But now, like, I put notes on the website.
You did, it's perfect.
So that
We
you
don't
guys
have to
see
call
them
them.
Yeah.
automatically?
We don't have to call them.
Yeah, you can do it on the web or the phone, right?
I'm sorry?
You can put notes on the web or phone.
Yeah,
That's
the app, I had you download the app because it's so easy to log.
that helps, you know, slice and dice where that lead is and what the quality of lead is.
You had a question here?
I do, so, I'm sorry, so when Ricky connects us with the buyer, by then, they're not technically pre-qualified yet. They're in the
Some are, some aren't.
Okay. and then
He's getting that
when
information.
should we expect to know, before we make an appointment to meet them and show them property and spend our time on them, when should we expect to know, when will we have an answer from them? that
Typically,
they've been pre-qualified?
Okay, there's a couple different things here. It may take time depending on to get a full qualification, they have to provide a lot of paperwork. But what you need to know is if you talk to this person and you're establishing a relationship, you always want to set a face-to-face at some point. You don't have to set up for right at that moment and waste your time. But let's say you're talking to them, oh, so why are you moving into the area? Oh, you're a nurse? Oh, you've worked at Holy Cross for 6 years? That's a buyer, most likely. So you're gonna have to learn to gauge, while they're working on it. Because there's no magical answer to that. Unless we come through and say, hey, they already have a loan commitment, they're ready to rock and roll, then you know. Then you set up a face-to-face. Let's meet,
I think the hardest thing for us is, when you wanna take a buyer out, the last thing you wanna do is show them properties that they're not qualified for.
Of course.
They're discouraged and then they think that you don't know what you're.
You don't take a buyer out unless they're qualified, or you have a very good idea that they are. Okay, if you have someone that says, oh yeah, I'm selling my house now, I've been a doctor for 4 years, or whatever, use your discretion. But why would you waste your time if you're working with an unqualified buyer? But it doesn't hurt to meet them, show them some properties. Ricky's letting them know, hey, by the way, we just got an inquiry from you. We see you're looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Fort Lauderdale. I went ahead and took the liberty of setting you up on auto email. So these people are automatically, when they sign up, now they're getting auto emails from us on listing updates, new properties hitting the market, everything. And so maybe they're not ready right at that moment, but they will be down the road, so. Yes?
Sorry to ask this question. So like on Realtor.com.
Come on,
they
Steve.
give you information, like
It's
something.
like a front row heckler.
This is important. So like if I get a lead from Realtor.com, I know specifically that property because they've got a question about that property. So I instantly get a text message. So I'm real quick. I'm able to real quickly hop onto the computer and ascertain information about this property. Sometimes I'll get a lead and it's in B status because the system can't sort through it.
Right.
So is what you all have got gonna, give
Jonathan
us
can answer that.
property-specific information about what they're searching for?
Yes and no, depends on the source. If they were on our website, open the app, it tells you exactly which properties they were looking at, how many times they looked at it, property searches they've already set up, any listings they've already favorited. Because it sets them up with an account when they put their information in, they're already in it. So if they hit the little like, it saves it as a favorite, and you can see exactly, and we see exactly which property or what type of property they're looking at. The way that Realtor.com works is they drag people to their website for specific properties.
Yes.
And they use that to sell the lead to you. So that's the only way they can generate a lead. We want on our site, and most lead generation sites, other than Realtors and Zillows, it's a general. This is an active person looking in this area. Maybe not a specific property, but in this area.
So it's up to us to kind of.
Yeah, and anyone that's contacting us through our system has put their phone number in and email.
Steve,
And most
So-
it is easier to make a cold call about a specific property, but we've already done that. We've already done the cold call, we've already kind of gone through it with them and specified what they're looking for, okay? It may be a wide range. They may say, anything in Broward County under 300,000, I'm good. That may be it, but that's actually what they're looking for instead of a single property, and then you find out a month later they're looking anywhere. You know, it widens your search, you have a better idea already, you don't have to have that topic for a cold call, we've already done it.
But that's where your skill sets as a realtor kind of come into play, you know?
And just know that we're every lead that we distribute, we're not giving it to you and saying, all right, we hope that closes. And we're contacting these people. And if it goes to where they're not ready, we're still contacting, we're staying, and then we'll contact you. Hey, Steve, we just got an alert from so-and-so, they're ready to go.
What I will tell you is if we assign you a lead and you don't make notes, we're gonna call them, and then you're gonna get upset that we called them, that you're actively working, then why are they getting
Yeah,
a call?
and then the client's gonna be upset if you're not putting notes in, right. So you have to use the system.
The hardest part about this whole thing, because I know a lot of you guys are used to working individually, and, you know, with the hardest growing pains for my team, if there's 21 of us, is garbage in, garbage out. So you guys, if you guys are working with the system and putting the notes in and allowing Ricky to then work with you and he puts the notes in, it works seamlessly. And if you guys are working with buyers and not updating it and not updating their status, if they're cold, if they're hot, if they're this, if they're that, it's very hard to use a very robust CRM if you're not putting good information in the system. If you do put good information in, your results will be astronomically off the charts, because it allows you to pinpoint those hot people and go after with them a certain other campaigns. Commissions Inc. is amazing. I've worked with the system before. It's, in my opinion, the best one out there.
Super impressive.
So I'm very happy you guys are using it, but it's only as good as the data you guys put in. So it has to be a two-way street. It's gotta be Ricky on one end and you guys on the other end, and you guys will see huge, huge benefits.
Huge benefits. I mean, the difference is no joke. I mean, the average conversion right now, like let's say for